Welcome back, curious people. This is the second video in our series for our Try It Before You Buy It bobbin lace. The first video showed you how to make your do-it-yourself home bobbin lace kit. Told you everything you were going to need. Today we're going to talk about concepts and language, and we're going to make something. So the very first thing we want to do is prep your bobbins. Now, all of my bobbins are dummied, like this. They have a tether on them that you tie your actual threads to. It makes sure you have total control to the very last centimeter of what you're working on. It's not technically necessary, I guess, but I always do it. I don't have an undummied bobbin anywhere. You're going to start with some thread, take it up through the legs of your clothespin, and you're just going to start with a square knot. For anyone who does not know, a square knot is right over left and left over right, but because one side is still attached to the bobbin, a couple series of these will do, little half squares. And if you do 3 of them, it kind of works out to be a square knot. So take the end that's short, trim it down a little bit so that it doesn't annoy you later. And we're going to take our spool of thread and our bobbin, and we're going to go clockwise around the bobbin. Oops, I was getting the camera here. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. It's just a base and a tether. Now we're going to teach you something important. We're going to teach you how to make a hitch. You take the thread that's coming off the bobbin and you put it underneath your first 2 fingers. Turn your hand over so that the thread comes behind your fingers and split them. Now you've got 2 threads that you're looking at. Come underneath the one in front into the hole, and suddenly you've got this lovely hitch. Trim it off so that there's a tether, and you go do your next one. Now you've got 12 of these to do, so I'm going to tell you right now to please press hold. I don't want to get ahead of you. Go and dummy your bobbins, and then come on back and I'll be here. Hello. Okay, welcome back. Your next thing you've got to deal with is thread control. Now this is what we're working with. It is a skein of embroidery floss. It is 8 yards long. And anyone who's ever worked with thread knows that thread will misbehave if you don't keep it under control. So find the knot in your skein, and it will open up in a great big old circle. Stick your right arm through the circle. Leave your right arm in the circle. You just have to kind of pinch this because it's only just got a hitch on it. And pull it open. Come on. You should never have to come at this with scissors. That's just asking for trouble. Okay, so now you've got that pulled apart. Once you pull it apart, you're going to see 2 ends of your skein. Take the one that is coming to your left and stretch your arm out, and it will unwind under control. This is a piece of cardstock. It's an index card. I've cut 2 slits in it. You stick in this one end and you wind. Now you'll end up with something that looks like this. If you're lucky, your embroidery thread has come with something that's looked like this. This is the official version of this. But this will work. Leave your arm in there as you wind it on your card, and you will have a whole lot less frustration. So, now that you've got it on your card and under control, you need to cut your threads for what you're going to do. I have done this in advance. I will tell you, you need 5 1-yard lengths of embroidery floss for your warp threads. These are very passive. They lay there and get woven through. This is a 2-yard share. It is the weaver. It is the one that goes back and forth and makes the cloth in all of these. It says so right up here on your instruction card that you've got 5 pairs that are passive, 1 yard shared, 1 pair that's active. That one has 2 yards shared. So, and for those of you who are astute paying attention, yes, I know I told you to do 3 colors, but I got kind of inspired by the national colors of Poland and Canada, and they only have 2 colors. So I'm doing 2 colors, but you're still highly encouraged to do 3. You do not have to do red and white. Choose your colors. These are your fish. Now you're going to hit pause again and go measure your threads. And if you want to use the whole nose to fingertip outstretched hand measuring, that's totally acceptable. I don't reach that far, so I use a yardstick. You can also use one of these. This works perfectly fine. So go measure out 5 1-yard threads, 1 2-yard thread, and come on back. Welcome back. Now, I have put the threads as I cut them over this pin. It's just to keep them safe. I'm going to show you. This fish has 3 colors. This fish has 5 colors. This fish only have 2 colors. And the one I did in the video that didn't work has 2 colors. We're going to do a different color way, but the same colors, and I'll show you the difference of how it looks depending on where you put your threads. So we're going to take your 2-yard one. Everybody gets folded in half and put over this pin. And you've got this little space in between where your threads are on either side of that pin. Put your finger in there. Keep that loop. Take your safety pin. Doesn't have to be a duck. But the bigger your safety pin, the more fish it will hold. Taken the loop through the pin, folded it over on top of all the other threads, and pull them through. Tighten that up. Now, take your pin through that looped area and put it in the very top pricking on your pattern. These little spots are called prickings, and they are where the pins go when you're working. Now, to stabilize him at the start, I'm just going to put a pin under this duck, and it will stay in place. Now you've got to lay out your threads in the placement the way you want them to go. I have my red one, which is the 2-yard one, and I'm going to pull it over to the left. It starts at the left. Everybody else gets laid out with their partner. Now in bobbin lace, every bobbin has a buddy. And in this particular stitch that I'm going to show you, they always stay together. So when you lay out your colors, you can look at them and go, well, I don't like that. Let's see if I take it this way. And lay them all out in the order that you're going to be using them. They will stay in that order throughout the entire process. If they move around, you've made a mistake. Take a break. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, the very first thing you're going to do is put all of these on your bobbins. You take your ends, pinch them together, put it around your index finger, make a hole, come on through, and then you let it tighten up. Take your bobbin, you're going clockwise, wind it around until it gets short. Now once it gets short, you're going to do that hitch again. 2 fingers over the top, turn your hand over, come in underneath the thread in the front. Now this time you're taking the hitch up at the neck. Gonna go do your second one. I wish I could tell you to put it on pause, but again, I don't know how to edit, so we're gonna go through this together. And I will be here for every step of the fish with you. Wind it on clockwise. Doesn't have to be terribly neat. It's okay. Choke it off at the neck and hang it to the side. Pinch the ends together around your index finger, make a hole, poke it through. Clockwise. Now these are going to be a lot less on your bobbin because they're half the distance, half the length. Choke it off around your neck, its neck. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, all of these have little bits from the last project, so I'm trimming them off as I go. Just simply because I don't like them there when I'm doing this. Clockwise. Around its neck. Now, I will tell you that this is the only project I've ever done where I have wound the bobbins after. Normally, you wind the bobbins before you get them to the pillow, and we will teach you how to do that in the next video. But for this project, because we have the safety pin, they are secure and centered, and it's so much easier this way. So we're trying to avoid frustration. As we get you started, we'll break in slowly on the other stuff. pinch around your index finger, make a hole, poke it through, and tighten it up. If you see that there's like looseness, whichever one's loose, go pull that one separately. It'll tighten up for you. Fingers down, hand turns over, grab the front thread, tighten it up. Another little loop-de-hitch here. I know there's an official name for that, but please don't ask me what it is. Another hitch. Now, I'm doing this clockwise, and I will always tell you to do clockwise because I always do clockwise. But I will say that in Europe, they go counterclockwise. The key to all of this is consistency. If you feel like going counterclockwise, that's cool. Just do it the whole time. Got it pinched at the end, around the finger. Oops, well that didn't work. Pinch, twist. I guess I only caught one of those threads when I was doing that, because there's a little knot in the red one, but not in the dummy. It's okay, there's extra for this project. I have possibly an unnatural fear of running out in the middle of a project, so I tend to put on, drop the scissors. I tend to put on extra when you're dealing with something as inexpensive as embroidery floss. It doesn't matter quite so much, I think, but some of the real bobbin lace threads can get very expensive. And, well, comparatively expensive. Some people I know are horrified at the thought of wasting even an inch of thread. Alright, 2 more, and we are ready to go. It has a tendency to pull up on this pin. Keep it down on the pin. Clockwise. Last one. We are ready to start making a fish. So, now that we are really prepared, we're going to talk a little bit about the concepts here. There's only 2 moves that you can do with bobbin lace. You can do a cross or a twist. Combination of those 2 things makes all the stitches, makes all the fancy stuff. It's all you have to do is those 2 moves. Now, as I said before, every bobbin has a buddy, and they like to stay together, especially in the stitch I'm going to show you. Kick him out of the way because we've already done him. There's 2 moves. You're only ever working at most with 4 sticks at a time. So all of these aren't going to be used for a minute. Only these 2 pair are going to be working right from the start. Now what I'd like you to do is a winky, W-I-N-K-I-E. Yes, I know. I have no idea why it's called that, but I love it, so we're going to go with it. And you will winky on both sides every time you reach the side. A winky is a single pair twist. You take, if you look at these and go 1, 2, number 2 goes over 1. That's a twist. And then you come up here and find your next hole, next pinhole. Go a little bit out at an angle. You have done your first winky. Now you're going to do your first cloth stitch. Your cloth stitch, it's sometimes called the linen stitch in Europe. Both are acceptable. There's sometimes multiple words for the same move, but it's okay. You're going to look at these and go 1, 2, 3, 4. These are your 4 pair that you're going to work with. You're going to start with a cross. A cross picks up number 2 and jumps it over number 3. That's a cross. Now you're going to do a twist. The twist that you did for the winky was with 1 pair. This time you're going to use 2. So you pick up number 2 and number 4 and hop them back over to the left. Now you do another cross. Number 2 over number 3. Then you tighten them up and you put the pair that's on the left. If we're going to the right, the pair that's to the left is the one that's done. And now you're going to move to the next pair, the next 2 bobbins. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 goes over 3. Starting from the same count, 1, 2, 3, 4, you've got 2 and 4 coming back over 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 goes over 3. Cross, twist, cross. Tighten them up, put the left pair aside, and you keep going. Cross, twist, cross. Same thing, 2 over 3. Cross, twist, cross. And now you're to this far side. Exact same thing. Cross, twist, cross. And now you've reached the edge. You're going to put another winky in. A winky is a single pair twist. 2 over 1. Take your pin, find your next pinhole, your next pricking, and put it in there. And now you're coming back. You have done an entire row of cloth stitch using the combination of cross, twist, cross, and you're ready to go back the other way. So now we go 2 over 3, back over 2 over 3. Tighten them up. I talked about it, but I didn't put my winky in. So we're going to undo it. Uncross, untwist, uncross. Did I winky? Yes, I did. I did the cross, sorry. That's how you go backwards, by the way. So you just undo what you did. So now we're coming back to the left. Cross, twist, cross. Pick up your next pair. 2 over 3, cross, twist, cross. Shove that over to the right because you're going to the left. Cross, twist, cross. Next pair, cross, twist, cross. And you've reached the other end again. 2 over 3. Cross, twist, cross. Give it a winky. 2 over 1. Grab a pin. Find your next pricking. And you keep going. Same pair. 2 over 3. 2 and 4 over 1 and 3. 2 over 3. Cross, twist, cross. Tighten them up. Come on back to the right. Cross, twist, cross. Cross, twist, cross. Cross, twist, cross. And cross, twist, cross. Winky. Take your pin, come up underneath it, grab your next pricking. And you come back. Cross, twist, cross. Cross, twist, cross. 2 over 3, twist, cross. 2 over 3, twist, cross. And cross, twist, cross, and winky. Alright, now try to be aware of the fact that you can catch the threads on a previous pin. Try not to do that. I'm going to give everybody a little straightening. This is the row that we're going to put the eyeball on the fish. So, coming back, same way as before, same cloth stitch. Cross, twist, cross, cross, twist, cross, cross, twist, cross. Now I've gone through 3. And this is where I like to put the eyeball. I have picked 1 size 6 thread, bead. This is a bead. I've put it on the needle threader, and I have cut a small length of sewing thread, just this long. What you want to do is put the loop of it through the needle threader. You've got the bead on the needle threader. Put the loop through and pull it so that you now have a loop at the top, the bead, and your 2 loose ends at the bottom. You're going to take your weaving pair, make it a little bit longer, and you're going to put the first bobbin through it, through the loop that you've made, bead up to it, pull it through so that you have a loop. Then you can take that thread out, put your finger in the loop to keep it open. Take the other half of that pair of your weaver and go through the loop you made. Now you've got the bead locked in place. And you keep going. Cross, twist, cross. This needs to be a little bit longer anyway. Cross, twist, cross. You've reached the end. Give it a winky. I think I'm going to put this over here so that I'm not reaching across this every time. Cross, twist, cross. Cross, twist, cross. 4, not 5. Cross, twist, cross. Cross, twist, cross. And the last pair, cross, twist, cross, winky. Come up, find the next pricking. Okay, at this point we're going to give everybody a really good tug. Don't worry too much about breaking this thread like you could. The regular bobbin lace thread can get really thin and can be very fragile. This shouldn't give you any trouble. Okay. Coming back. Cross, twist, cross. Oops. If things get out of hand, make sure you put them back where they belong. If you look at the one that didn't fly, it's not crossed here, so this one shouldn't be either. Cross, twist, cross, cross, twist,